Hey guys, good morning. I just wanted to show you how I look this morning. This is kind of an impromptu video. I had another situation that popped up this morning that got me thinking. I just wanted to give you a good look. I'm about 6'3", 6'4". I've got cleats on. I've got earmuffs on. It's about 12 degrees here in Connecticut this morning. And it was dark. I went for a walk and it was totally dark out. I want to share something that happened with you guys. And I share this with you not because I think not because I want to look like a tough guy. Ooh, I scared somebody or anything like that. Those of you that know me, you know that I spent over 2 decades in the streets, the cities here in the Northeast, New York City, Hartford, Providence, Bridgeport. Living a life that was less than honorable as an addict, doing all sorts of things. And I make these videos to share some of the stuff I've learned, some of the just basic gut reactions when you're dealing with other people. All I want is for other people to be safe. When you're out in public, when you're out in social situations, on the street, especially at night, just to be safe, just to have an advantage. Okay, so what happened this morning? Like I said, I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of what I look like. Because apparently, apparently I look, I don't know. Okay, so I'm walking in the area. I did 2 or 3 videos at least of this one particular area. When I talk about being confronted in about 2 or 3 other videos, it's the same area. It's the area where trains run through. It's not far from a bus station. These buses go down to Port Authority in New York City. They run right from here to Hartford, Providence, Boston, New York. It's only a couple hours to all these cities from here. I'm pretty much right smack in the center of Connecticut, right smack between Boston and New York and Providence. And okay, so I'm out walking this morning, like I said, and I can't really hear. I'm in my own head. I'm thinking about videos I'm going to make and everything like that. And it's in this same area. I'm going up a hill. It's a residential area. It's dark. There's not much light, street lighting. It was about 5:30, 6 a.m. this morning. It wasn't light out yet. Like I said, I got my cleats on because it's all icy out there. And they make a lot of noise. People could hear me coming a block away. I got my earmuffs on, so I can't hear a whole lot. I look across the street, and there's a guy walking right off the bat. You know, he reminds me of the person I used to be. Just the clothing, the stance, the hands in the pockets. He's big. He's about my size, about 6'2", 6'3". And I see him looking back at me. His hair looks a little extra long. He's probably in his 20s. And I see him looking at me, so I just keep walking. And all of a sudden I hear a voice. You know, and he's like, so I look up, and he's talking to me. So I was like, I pull my earmuffs aside. And he's asking me, do I know where the bus station is? I didn't hear him good at first. So I take my earmuffs off and I step towards him off the curb. You know, the streets are empty at this time. It's just me and him on the street, dark street. And I start stepping towards him across the street. And I started talking about where the bus station is. And I look back and he's like this. And he's backing up. He's like, whoa, man, I just want to know where the bus station is. Swear to God. You know, so right off the bat, I look like I was approaching, you know, like this guy is thinking maybe I asked the wrong guy to where the bus station is. Now, again, this could all be a trick. You never know what people are up to. People can be devious. Like I said, I used to be quite a manipulator, and I don't say that proudly. So you never really know what's the truth. You got to always be cautious. But right off the bat, I kind of felt, I don't want to say bad, but, you know, this guy, I'm thinking, what if a cop or anybody went by? You know, this guy's backing up from me with his hands up like this, you know, and I'm walking towards him, you know, my face all covered up and everything, you know, what's it look like? So then I pull this down, and I'm like, you know, and my voice goes to my friendly voice. You know, and you know, like, you know, I'm explaining to him, you know, like he's walking away from me now, and I'm telling him it's just across the field, you know. I'm trying to make up for perceivably scaring him, which I don't know if it was a good idea. And he's like, okay, and he keeps walking. So I'm thinking about this, and I want to talk about fear versus respect. Respect is always what you want to go for. in a situation when you're out in public, in a social situation, in a city, on the streets, at night, especially when you're by yourself. Respect is, you don't want to be looked at as a target. I think predators just scan, having been on that side of life before, they just scan and they look for somebody that is a target-rich person, somebody that's going to pay off big, and it's not going to be a lot of work. Somebody that's going to listen to what they say, somebody that's going to be timid and do what they say, and that will yield a lot of resources, watches, whatever. This is just a quick scan, and right off the bat, you don't want to be summed up as a target. It's a lot to do with the way you walk, the way your shoulders straight, and you don't want to do it obviously either, because that's a sign too when you're swinging, talking, humming to yourself or swinging your arms. It's too much. You have to have a natural sense of confidence. I usually look down a little bit and straightforward and scan. When I walk down the sidewalk, I always picture there's something right in front of me that I'm walking quickly to. Arms just kind of loose to the side, swinging a little bit. Back, always back straight. Back nice and straight. Apparently it works. So I didn't particularly, I wasn't happy about this, because there's respect and then there's fear. Now, along with fear comes the urge to fight back, the urge to overcome, to conquer. Remember when I talked about when people open carry? I talked about that in another video. If I see somebody open carrying, I get the urge to confront them. And that's the same kind of thing. It's a fear. There's something, I think that when you're scared of something, you've got the urge to fight back. If you have a chance to you don't want to feel that fear. And right off the bat, I'm thinking I don't want to scare this guy, because then as I was walking up the street, I kept looking behind me, because now that this guy, I'm kind of worried, that at first, it kind of put him made him a little scared. But then I was a little overly friendly, with my friendly voice and, being all nice. So just go over there across the field. And then he thinks, this guy's a pushover. And I was nervous that he would come up behind me after, And plus, I think there's that urge, once you get scared by something, like somebody like this, somebody that's like this, when they get scared, they feel the need to reassert themselves in their own mind. So I was a little nervous this guy would come back up behind me. But this is what I'm talking about when you're dealing with fear versus respect. You don't want to be a target. And like I said, it kind of surprised me. It didn't make me feel good. It's not something that this isn't what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to scare people like this. But I'm just looking for respect. That's the thing you want. It's just simple respect. Respect is something that lasts. That's something that you just carry with you. Fear is a temporary thing that people revolt against, that people try to conquer over. That the minute that there's a crack, people will go after something that was scaring them. So that's what happened this morning. And it's just one other thing I want to talk about too is the bus station. This always happens around this, bus stations. A place when you're in the vicinity of, I don't want to paint all areas with a broad stroke, but bus stations, train stations, economic forms of long distance travel. I think a lot of people that are nomadic tend to gravitate towards these areas, and they can be dangerous. As like I said, I've been confronted 3 times in the same area now, and this is relatively safer than most cities in the United States. So anyway, that's what happened this morning, and it is what it is. All right, you guys have a good morning.